Strategy number 6, how are we going to figure out cash flow for your practices? I'm going to give you a quick crash course in real estate. Everybody, I think, has kind of heard of cap rates, and that's how real estate is bought and sold. If you have real estate at a 6 to 8% cap rate, which is pretty standard in any active cash flow, active investment, 50% of your rent is their break-even point. That's how the math works out. I've got commercial and residential real estate. I'm speaking from experience and from an understanding of how this industry works. You need to be negotiating with your landlord to get a 30 to 50% reduction over the next 3 to 6 months on this guy. Fannie and Freddie have paused all evictions and foreclosures. You don't need to defer your rent. We're all in this together, and we've all got to make concessions to get through this together. If you're having trouble right now, utilities all across the country are suspending payments. Small business relief programs, the small business SBA is rolling out forgivable loans. I have not read the final copy. The draft copy allowed for up to $100,000 of salary forgiven if you don't lay off your people based on last year's numbers. So they're going to look at your employment levels. You can get forgiveness for rent as well. Everybody, if you haven't applied for an SBA loan yet, send me an email. I'll shoot you what you need to know and how to go do it in all the forms. It's a little bit of work, but you're going to get cash to float you through this. And then the government has already said in writing in this new bill, it's going to be forgiven if you spend it on what you say you're going to spend it on, your people and your rent and keeping your practice alive. If you go lay off all your people and go buy a new boat, they're not going to forgive your loan, and they probably shouldn't. If you're trying to keep your business afloat, you need to go apply for this loan right now. Tonight, it's available. The disaster relief program is what this link is here, and there's even state-by-state info. Cash flows for your team. How are you thinking about keeping your team on board? I'll tell you the first thing that I'm recommending is that you offset this stimulus program against your team's salary. If your people make under $75,000 a year, they're going to get a $1,200 check in their pocket. Your team should not be getting a raise while you as the business owner are in a state of crisis and closed down and figuring all this out. If you're paying your people and they're still there, you need to offset their wages against this stimulus program. There are options to avoid layoffs. You can reduce hours, you can reduce pay. Again, what do we need to do to get through this? I know a lot of people in life, I know a lot of dentists, and the ones that are generally passive and afraid of having a tough conversation are going to have a difficult time talking about some of these things. We've got some verbiage and some tips that we can give to help you. Also realize the new sick leave law that they just passed takes effect April 2nd. If you have under 50 employees, you can get a waiver if it's going to be detrimental to your business. The sick leave law also expires at the end of this year. Basically, what it means is that you are required to give 80 hours of sick pay at minimum 2/3 their normal rate. The nice part about this is it's fully reimbursable by Uncle Sam. Refundable tax credits. Gotta love refundable tax credits. You have to front the cost as the employer, but you get reimbursed by Uncle Sam within 3 months through that mechanism through your payroll tax. Furloughing workers. You may not want to say lay off. Furlough is a nice, softer word that indicates you have an intention to bring them back. Furloughing them without pay, without benefits. But as you're looking at this, you definitely want to make sure you bring your A team back, your A players. And that's really important that you maintain communication with your people through this. Let's talk about cash flow strategies for you. You're the owner. The book is being thrown at this situation right now. Federal student loans have been paused, interest-free. Private student loans have the same. They have a couple different little nuances around them, whether what company you go through, you'll have to go look it up. You get 3 months of cash float. They're giving you a 3-month loan for free, no interest. All tax returns, federal and most state returns, have been pushed back to July 15th. Here's a link you can go see when your state's tax returns are due. Indiana has followed suit with federal. Obviously, if you're owed a refund, go ahead and file right now, right? If you're an associate dentist or you are in a refund situation, great. Go ahead and get that done. Sally Mae is offering a 3-month pause. Navient on the student loans is offering a 3-month pause. Wells Fargo has indicated that they're going to help, but they didn't issue a specific guidance on their policy. If you don't know about, if you don't have a really good CPA that can take good care of you, reach out to me. There are some nuances in this. If you're turbo taxing it up, I'm concerned you're going to get into a pitfall. There's going to be a little pile of doo-doo you're going to step in as you're navigating these very fast-moving and complex economic stimulus packages and returns and credits. I know some really, really good CPAs that work only with dentists. I can make some recommendations to you. We don't have any individual relationships. I don't get kickbacks. I'll give you a couple names and you go do the investigation and figure out who's right for you.